Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Dan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thanks for asking.
It's weird, isn't it? Because we've already been together for like 15 minutes.
No, we haven't. I've just walked.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course.
Daniel.
Yes.
Exeter City.
Yep, that's what we're here to discuss this week.
Sure is. Yeah,
this week's topic.
We're mixing it up and we're talking about
Exeter
Exeter City this week.
Yeah, and there's some things to say.
Let's say this. Crawley Town, away from home at the People's Pension Stadium.
Yeah, one of our favourites.
One of our absolute favourites. City have come home with a 1-0 win.
Yes.
3 points.
Yeah, very valuable win.
Absolutely.
Putting us back up the league a bit.
Up into fourth.
Yeah.
Good to get another win. It follows on from as we talked about, a 1-0 win against Cambridge in the Cup.
Yeah.
And that means we're now 3 games without conceding a goal.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
It's really good.
That's how you put a positive spin on things.
Well, I think...
Not that it needs one. We've won 2 games in a row, you know. We're fourth in the league.
Yeah. Matt Taylor's done the thing he was doing at the beginning of the season. We've suddenly gone back to being really solid at the back.
Yeah. Despite having Johnny Maxted in goal.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's just found the confidence now. Maybe he's happy.
I think maybe that's it. Maybe he's just had a bit of time to settle into the team, you know? Maybe we expected too much, considering just because of how solid Ward had been and, you know, the sort of consistent Pim of years gone by.
Yeah.
That's what people used to call him, consistent Pim.
Is that what the C stood for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good name. Yeah, I've always got it's too many stupid jokes. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Max did. Maybe he's coming to the fore. Did you see Bowman's Instagram story on the way to the game?
I do not follow Ryan Bowman on Instagram.
I tell you why you maybe shouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's joking or not, which is never a good sign. He did an Instagram story and it was on the coach and he was looking over the shoulder of definitely Maxted and maybe Williams.
Okay.
And they were playing Fortnite, against each other on like the coach table.
Right.
And Bowman had written as his caption, "The game's gone."
Right.
Are you being an old man, Ryan? Are you being grumpy about the kids on their computer games? Because it sounds a bit like you are.
I'm with him there, actually. I think.
Are you?
Well, I don't know what Fortnite is.
Oh.
Like, I vaguely know that it's like some sort of fighting game that you play online.
That's all you need to know.
And they dance on it, and people copy the dances, but I've never seen
Dele Alli and Harry Kane, big players of Fortnite.
Yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. I don't feel like it's for me, so I've never bothered to look further into it.
Of course, Maxted and Williams, etc., are what they call millennials, whereas us, and I'm putting Bowman in this category, are more of the era of like Bobby Moore, Mark Haitley.
I feel like it, even though I think technically speaking, I think we might both be millennials.
Oh right, okay. Well,
we're definitely technically I am. But
weirdly, we're older than Bowman, but I definitely feel younger than him.
Yeah, this isn't a dig at Bowman, but we both look younger than him too.
That is definitely a dig at Bowman.
I don't think how old is he? Like,
I don't know. 30? Yeah, well, I'm 7 years older than him.
Anyway, I do kind of want to see that kind of candid kind of stuff. So maybe I should start following him. I don't follow any City players on Instagram.
Don't you?
Nah.
Oh, it's full of... Well, I tell you what, Randall Williams, this is a top tip for you. Listen, I'm not even an Instagram kind of user. I only use it to follow City players. Randall Williams only ever shares stuff that people have said about him.
Okay.
Sparks and Collins don't use it at all, but they've got accounts. But Bowman and Taylor are entirely pictures of their daughters at various theme parks around Devon.
Oh, so this is how you know so much about Jake Taylor's private life.
So the only way I know about Jake Taylor's private life.
Okay, maybe I'll start. In a way, I'm a bit worried that I'm going to see something I don't like and it would colour my opinion.
Yeah, grumpy Bowman moaning about kids. So anyway, Maxted and Williams obviously got them in the mood for Creepy Crawley, and it worked.
It did.
It looked like one of those games, didn't it, where we were going to have all the chances and then either they'd nick a late goal or we'd fail to score.
I was kind of like...
I was feeling that.
Yeah, I was really kind of had the old, oh God, when are we going to score some gols? Yeah. And to be honest, I've still got that feeling.
Well,
it hasn't gone away. Goal. We did score a goal, but you know, according to the commentary, we looked a lot more threatening and created a lot more chances, and like were able to break Crawley down a bit better than we had other teams recently. But
well, it was a good. I tell you what, we can definitely say they've all been listening to us and heeding our advice, because there were a number of good corners and crosses into the box.
Okay,
and that's what that goal came from. Of course, a good corner that Moxie was running at the back post for.
Yeah.
What you can also say...
Taylor loves set-piece goals, doesn't he? Did you hear him talk about them?
Yeah.
Not for the first time this week, and he's talking about how much he loves, and you can tell you're such a centre-back.
He is a centre-back, but that's all right. That's what he is.
He's watching Steve Bruce, like videos on highlights videos
Brucey videos,
on
yeah,
YouTube.
Absolutely. Here's another thing you'd say about Taylor that's worth saying. He wasn't very happy with us after the Cambridge game, was he?
What, me and you specifically?
Yeah, he's named you in his...
What have I done?
You, this wasn't you. People were singing, weren't they? We had a shot.
Oh, yeah. That
Taylor,
wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me either.
But I thought it was funny. And,
I think Taylor took that to heart. I think
don't
he's
be
worrying
taking
about
that.
it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I know he's worried about it, but so are we.
I think, do you think,
and it's our football team.
I think he's more worried maybe about the detrimental effect upon the players. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought actually he's got something here. It was Cambridge, for whatever reason, only came to nick a goal. That was their stupid fault. They couldn't manage to counter-attack, but they were very, very, very deep defending.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we as we talked about. I mean, I agree with you, but only because they carried on doing it. Like, I thought once was funny,
yeah,
and then twice was probably would start to like get to the players maybe. That's it. But yeah, whatever. The thing is, Matt, you can't really control what the fans say. They have their opinions and they're going to voice them, and it's fair enough.
Yeah, it got to him a little, I think.
But yeah, I think it probably did. But this week, it looked like they were really trying.
Yeah, it did.
And maybe that's a stupid thing to say, because that's not something we've had a problem with this season, is trying really hard. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
And we did have some good efforts. What really stuck out to me was, from what it sounded like and from the highlights, was Jack Sparks.
Yeah.
He looked like is he the kind of Devonshire Gareth Bale?
What, Devon, Golf, Exeter City, in that order?
Well, who knows? Apparently Fortnite, was he one of them?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what he likes.
Oh, yeah, I see your point. Devon, Fortnite.
I meant more how he's playing, like... It was
great, wasn't he? He was really great when he came on against Cambridge, and then he looked like he was really great, and they were singing his praises at Crawley.
Yeah, he looks like he really, really wants to attack, doesn't he?
Get him back in the team, starting, as he looks like he is now doing. I
like that we've got those two options on that left-hand side, which, again, doesn't seem to be our favoured side to attack down, does it?
No.
It's the right we tend to work down with Williams and Sweeney, but I think Sparks really wants to get stuck in with the goals and the attacking moves, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
But it's nice to have the alternative, which is dependable Woodman.
Yeah.
Nice problem to have.
Indeed so. And another thing that's worth saying is Fisher didn't start or was on the bench. So do we know if he's injured?
Well, I don't know. This is another example of how Matt Taylor hasn't been listening to us. Not that I think that he should in any way.
I think he should.
Or he has listened to it and just decided that we were completely wrong.
But that can't be the truth.
Yeah, well, you'd think. But we've not been wrong ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Frankly. So Fisher didn't play.
So no Fisher, but he was in a couple of so there's like little Instagram, little pictures of them on the pitch before the game. They do that. Oh, the players are here checking out the pitch. Why do they do that? Why do you go and check the pitch?
I think, why do the players
just get a feel for it or something?
Get a feel for it. Well, studs or
smell
mouldies.
the grass.
Studs or mouldies.
Of course,
or daps, if it's really dry.
Yeah.
Got to wear some
blades.
daps today.
Do they still exist?
Blades, yeah. Well, that's mouldies with a bladey bit. I guess they still exist.
Okay. Right. So
I guess that's what they're doing.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. Makes sense. And he was there. So Fisher was there. So he definitely travelled with the squad. So it's not like he's that injured.
Oh, interesting.
I think he'd done enough, hadn't he?
I think he'd done well to be on the bench.
And then Big Bowman didn't exactly set the world alight, did he, during that game?
I mean, it's Bowman all over. I think if you're watching the game, you can see all the stuff he's trying to do. You can see the kind of the runs he makes and the hard work he puts in. Martin, at least, was having Martin hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
After we'd kind of accused him of not scoring and not having any assists, I realised that hitting the crossbar was neither of those things.
Well, yeah, it's the exact same problem. It's exactly what we're saying. He's demonstrating our point for us. He had another chance where he just kind of, after Nicky Law had there's a chance that fell to Law. I really thought he looked like he should have hit it first time.
Yeah.
They said the same on the commentary, and when he saw it back, you're like, oh yeah, he really should. He took a touch and then didn't quite get the shot away. Kept it alive, to be fair. It falls back to Martin and he just sort of scuffs it and it rolls towards the keeper about a mile an hour. But
there's something about that front line, and I don't just mean the strikers, but the midfielders as well, that I can't remember, and you'll tell me something really recent, but I can't remember the last time there was just a really nicely hit shot. And what is that about? Because obviously that's partly to do with space. And
do you mean that resulted in a goal?
Yeah, definitely that's resulted in a goal. But even, there's just not...
Well, as the crowd at St James Park will tell you, we don't even have that many shots.
No, that's right. That's what I mean. So I think when we do
Randell Williams against Cambridge.
Okay. That
was the one, wasn't it?
It was, yes, you're right, it was. It was the top left corner.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, but
that's one a game. Like, we should be having 3 or 4.
And we're also playing 2 up front.
Yeah.
And I know that Martin's is playing off Bowman, and it's a bit of a kind of slightly fluid kind of front 2. It's not like your old-fashioned SAS,
Yeah. Shearer and Sutton.
Yeah, it's like it's not that kind of quite that kind of situation. But those two don't score any goals.
No, indeed. I mean, my hope would be that the more we're convinced of our solidity at the back, the more we'll just play a bit more like... Because at the moment it's real like, keep the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball. Don't shoot unless you're going to score, keep the ball.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, we're reassured that at the back we're sorted. We can cope with counter-attacks. We're solid. Let's just have a few wild crosses. Not wild, but, ambitious crosses, ambitious passing, ambitious shots. Because, League 2 keepers, League 2 defenders, wet pitches, all that stuff.
Yeah, and
also we're good. We've scored all those players have scored good goals.
Yeah, Bowman is capable of scoring and consistently, isn't he? As we saw at the start of the season and at points last season when he came in. So, but is that going to be enough? If we're seriously thinking about challenging for automatic places,
yeah,
we've got a big enough kind of test sort of sample now, haven't we? That we need a bit more. We need something else up there. I don't think that partnership of Martin and Bowman is ever going to work in terms.
It's not going to bring many goals.
Returning a significant amount of goals. They're never going to get going.
No,
they don't link up. I'm not sure whether they're supposed to in that system, but they don't. It would definitely help if they did.
Yeah.
Nicky Law's our top goal scorer.
Yeah.
With 6 goals, which actually is pretty good.
Bowman's got 5, has he?
If you look at the rest of maybe 4.
4, yeah.
If you look at the rest of the league, actually, it's pretty low scoring in terms of there isn't one player who's really setting it.
No. But of course, most of those goals came 2 months ago.
Yes.
That's right. I mean, Josie's maybe the magic key.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, from what we've seen so far, well, he didn't score, did he? He did score 1 in a cup game or something, didn't he?
That's right, at Newport, wasn't it? But he's not... he hasn't had a run. Think how long it took Bowman. Think how long it took Stockley.
Oh, he barely even got a go. And we changed the system after he was moved out of the team. We tried a different system. It started working, and then he got injured.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely a way for him, a place for him in this team. And we've signed him. We're paying him.
Yeah,
we've got to get him fit and we've got to get him playing.
Do we have any update on that?
I don't know. He seemed to be mentioning him a bit more.
He said he's back to training. That was a week ago. He said he's back to training.
Okay.
That was strength training. So,
hopefully not too long. What are the chances of us buying any more in January? I'd say it's quite slim.
I'd say it's quite slim.
What do you think about possibly bringing somebody in on loan?
I mean, it's possible, isn't it? But I mean, loan's a real gamble, and we didn't use them hardly. I mean, Donovan Wilson's a real reason not to bring anyone in on loan.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Whatever we were paying him.
Apart from he did something really good once,
he did one really good. He held it up really well, didn't he, to help us score a winner. But I think...
Well, yeah.
Josie's the obvious thing. We're paying for him. He's there. He's experienced.
The other thing is give Seymour more minutes.
Yeah. There's that,
He's looked good, hasn't he, when he's played?
He has looked good.
Yeah.
And I honestly...
But there's got to be...
I'd give Fisher more.
Yeah, well, I
I'd give
agree.
him half an hour.
I agree. Fisher got 2 goals in 2 games. So there's options, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I think, how long do you keep just trying to bludgeon it to death with this with those two?
Yeah.
Like we said before, he don't seem to fancy Matt Jay in that Lee Martin role. Fair enough. You know, we can't keep banging that drum.
But we kind of can.
He doesn't mind Seymour in that role because he comes on for Martin. That's who he comes on for.
Yeah.
So if that's the case...
Start Seymour.
Start him. Put him in from the beginning. What harm? It's not like he's... You know...
No.
I don't see any reason why... He doesn't look like he's too weak for this division, does he? I don't think. I think he looks strong. He even wins some headers sometimes, which you literally can't believe sometimes.
He's definitely He's definitely more prepared physically than Randall Williams was when he arrived.
And if he can come on half time, or if he can come on in 60 minutes, 70 minutes, why can't he start the game?
Yeah.
We saw how effective Lee Martin was coming off the bench at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So maybe that's...
because Martin's got a lot of energy, he runs a lot. That can be really, really helpful.
Yeah.
If defenders are tired.
Exactly.
Or if we need to stretch it out a bit. You know.
Sending people the wrong way, But I don't know. Maybe we'll see those things start to happen now. Christmas is coming.
I think we'll talk about this in a minute, but I think the game on Saturday is in a sense a bit of a free hit. Like, so that's the cup game against Hartlepool.
Sunday, you mean?
Sorry, Sunday.
Weird, isn't it?
Really weird. 2:00 on a Sunday. Yeah.
Someone said it's something to do with this goal show or something.
I think that's what it's to do with. Yeah,
did we talk about this on the podcast?
Yeah, we did,
Okay.
yeah. We'll talk about it some more in a minute. Yeah, the FA Cup goals show. So it's kind of like Soccer Saturday, but instead of just grumpy men in chairs
talking about goals,
we can see the goals.
Right.
And
is there still grumpy men in chairs as well?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
I think Manish will be there, not grumpy.
The Portugal player.
What's he called? Manish Basson, the main guy.
Yeah, I know who he is. I like to
just
remember the other Manish.
Oh yeah, right, fair enough.
He's a good player.
Lest we forget. But yeah, so he'll be there, and Sam Parkin will probably be there, although he's probably licensed out to some other some other company.
Sam Parkin is the go-to guy now, isn't he, for anything outside of the Premier League?
You know what might happen,
in this country?
Of course, what we might get is some... I don't know why we're talking about this, but because it's Sunday, not Saturday, there'll be loads of people, championship players, who maybe used to play for League 2 teams, who might be gone. Jayden Stockley. I'd love to see that.
Oh, brilliant!
Imagine that.
But
it's not going to happen.
It's not the only kind of focusing on us.
No, it's not. That's true. So I think probably if we score a goal,
who would you like to see on there?
What person?
Yeah. Talking about City.
Talking
us through Ben Seymour's first senior goal when that eventually happens.
I'd like to see Jamie Cureton.
Curo, yeah, great. That'd
is he still playing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is, actually.
Yeah. But he's probably not still in the FA Cup. I'd like to see Curo. That'd be good.
George Friend.
Love to see George Friend.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Love George Friend.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of players who are in the still going.
Yeah, still going.
Yeah, that could maybe do it.
Love that. Well, anyway, that's Sunday. So we play 2 p.m. on Sunday, which is a very weird time to go to.
It's going to feel weird, isn't it?
It's going to feel weird.
Being at St James Park on a Sunday, I think.
I might wear my slippers.
Wear your Sunday best.
I might wear my Sunday best. And then I'll go home and have a Sunday roast. I actually can, and I will.
What, you'll have the roast after the game?
Yeah.
Interesting. So sort of 5 o'clock-ish roast.
Absolutely. I'll set the oven timer.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. It'd be too early if you have it before, wouldn't it?
I'll have a delicious Quorn roast. You'd never get it in. You'd be bloated turning up to the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't got to play, so it wouldn't be that bad, but you'd still feel it, wouldn't you? Wouldn't want to get too excited for fear of spewing.
Yeah, acid reflux.
No thanks. So that's Sunday, Hartlepool. So what we're saying about this is it's kind of a free hit. It's kind of a really positive free hit. It's not like one of those stupid leasings.coms. Well, is it?
Is it indeed? I don't think it is. I think it's actually a very crucial game.
Ooh.
It's probably more important than... No, I'd say it's as important as the league. This game specifically.
Okay.
If we go out in the first round...
We're through the first round. This is the second round.
Yeah. Hypothetically, if we go out in the first round, we're out, whatever.
Yeah.
This one, against a team who are lower than us...
Yes.
If we go through this round, that means we're in the third round draw. Obviously, that's how it works. It starts with 1, then it goes to 2.
It's clever.
Then it goes to 3.
When does 4 come?
The third round. After that's the 4th round.
Okay, right, okay.
They do it the same way that most people count things.
That makes it easier to understand.
Yeah. So, and the reason it's important is because we know how much money that's going to bring in for the, potentially, like, how much money that brings in. We rely on, according to someone who I know, they mentioned that in the AGM recently.
Oh, okay.
That cup runs,
how much is worth?
They're really important to us financially, and this is a good position. This is a real opportunity to get into that third round, and and then who knows? We can dream. What would you want? Who do you want in the third round?
I'd flipping love Mourinho and Spurs.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Would be good.
Where?
Well, both are good. You really want both, don't you?
Well, yeah.
You want to go to White Hart Lane.
It's not called White Hart Lane anymore.
Or whatever the hell it's called. I mean, that's disgraceful.
Well, do you want to go there? That's the thing. I'm not sure I want to go to this new stupid stadium.
Oh, right. World's greatest stadium, they're saying.
Yeah.
I'd like to see both, though, wouldn't you? Like, I'd like to see that, or I'd like to see, like... I'd love to go to Newcastle. Wouldn't you? Oh, that'd be great.
Anfield would be one for me. I've never been to Anfield, and I'd love to. Or Goodison.
Oh, yeah.
Villa Park's nice, and I'd like to go there again, and that's been a while. Any of them. I mean, we also could get someone like Total.
We'll get knowing our luck, we'll get Blooming Tiverton Town.
Yeah, but then there's another opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, then you're in the 4th round, aren't you? If you win the thing.
Anyway, that's why I think it's such an important game, because, like,
what I'm saying by this then,
cash.
It should be an opportunity to win well. Like, I know we could totally slip up, and I know Hartlepool will be wanting to win, and they'll be thinking the same.
Yeah.
And of course, more people want them to win. Not that it makes any difference.
Of course, and there's always that, there's always a small team that, not that they're a small team, but historically, but they're lower down. There's always one that does well, and there, so
Yeah, but I think it could be a real gift to us to win that one well and go into the third. Then you've got all of Christmas. Like, everyone will be pleased about that, excited about that. Especially when you get the draw and you're like, flipping heck.
Yeah.
It's this team. Great. So we'll see. But I'd hope that we'll go for it in the same way we went for the Argyle game, the same kind of level of opportunity, really. Yeah,
well, it'd be interesting to see how much, stock the club put into it. I mean, what Team Taylor puts out for that.
There's also a vested interest for Taylor, of course.
Bit of exposure.
Bit of exposure, innit? Like, I don't think he's mercenary about it. And he said, like, he wants to stick with the club. He's been supported. But that's how you build your name. That's how the Cowley brothers first appeared. Yep. Really, wasn't it, as a name?
Yeah.
Took a Lincoln to...
He wants to be the third Cowley brother.
Yeah, maybe he does. So I think everyone, and the players as well, of course, like, it really is a thing. Like, you hear about it so often, don't you? Randall Williams, someone like that, he goes and scores a couple and has a really great game. And
yeah, they're more. Yeah, you're more in the shop window in the FA Cup for a League Two player, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I really hope we do go for it. I hope it's a positive team. But actually, to be honest, maybe my idea of the first 11 and Matt Taylor's are slightly different anyway. Maybe
they are. Asingana's been doing some good stuff, and also I think
settling in, and
it's did you see him? By the way, did you see him under the tiny marquee they put out for?
Not in person, no.
No, I didn't see him in person, but there's an amazing photo. Seen that? The marquee. He's too tall for that marquee.
Brilliant.
I mean, it's not even a marquee. It's like.
So who's he there with? Sparks was there, right?
Sparks was there. I didn't see who else it was.
A couple of the lads.
And this marquee is basically 4 poles with a roof, and the roof is
gazebo.
It's a gazebo without sides. The roof comes to approximately his nose line, so you can see his kind of face.
Brilliant.
Anyway, he's been doing well. And of course, Ward actually isn't that far away now.
Is that right?
That's
It's been
right.
that long.
It's been that long, yeah.
Time flies when you're...
Worrying about conceding easy goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could have a Ward and a Jose return before Christmas. And that would be an absolute ding-dong-do.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be good? So I suppose the other news off the pitch is we've had the Trust AGM.
Yep.
We've had all the elections. We've now had the published words of Tag. Was it from the AGM?
I think so, yeah.
And in it, he's kind of pleased with the progress, pleased with how the academy stuff's worked out. Obviously, constant concern that we don't end up like Bury and Bolton and Macclesfield and all that kind of stuff. He's offered a kind of positive that we're really now in our money's in a positive state. And by that, I mean not negative in the bank. And he kind of rolls out for us, doesn't he? This is the State of the Union thing. He's also quite keen for the Trust to know that the membership is really representative on the board, and that's heard by the club. And he's obviously referring all the Tisdale stuff and who was, all that stuff there.
Yeah.
But then he kind of offers, dare I say it, a bit of an ultimatum. I mean, that's pushing it, probably.
Yeah.
But he gives us kind of 3 ways forward, eh?
It's a kind of like options he's calling it, which I suppose they are. So shall I read them out?
Yeah, please.
So these are kind of his, sort of ideas for the future, if you want. So number 1, we could do nothing and accept where that takes us.
Okay.
That's my preferred option.
Yeah, mine too.
Obviously. Number 2, we could review our model, seek external investment, not in the same way of pretty much every other club, I hasten to add, but perhaps along the lines of the German model, by far the most financially successful in the world, perhaps a hybrid of our own making.
Yeah.
Or number 3, we could move house.
Okay.
Luton, Bournemouth, so many others are doing or about to do exactly that and create a ground for the 450,000 demographic and cater for the leisure demands of Greater Exeter, football, music, hospitality, exhibitions, conferencing accommodation?
Okay.
There's a question mark at the end of that. And then sort of finishes by saying, or, like I said at the beginning, we could do nothing. The cliff or the juggernaut, it's coming. It's not going to disappear or go away.
You were doing speech marks there.
Yeah, although actually they're not. They're the single ones. What are they? Inverted commas.
Inverted commas around go away.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Taggy's options for us.
Yeah, which was a bit of a surprise to me, some of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically saying, isn't he?
I don't know the man, so I don't know his,
If I'd read it correctly, he's basically saying, yeah, we sell academy players, but if, that's not luck of the draw, but if there aren't the players out there, you can't find them, you can't sell them. And
obviously players are getting hoovered up younger and younger. Exeter's a small...
Yeah.
We're in a very small area, aren't we, So, and we're doing a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So far, but how long can that realistically carry on?
Yeah, and obviously we lost Ampadu without much cash.
Well,
we might well lose.
That's happening. He also does mention that, having in the speech. If you want to read it, it's on the Trust website, I think, or exetercity.co.uk. He does mention that he'd had meetings with some people from Premier League and the what they called elite performance, blah blah blah, whoever, someone to do with the state of the compensation sort of rules for young players. So we lost Jay Stansfield with no money as well.
That's right.
Ben Christen,
it's
bound to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he seemed sort of quietly confident that things like that might happen in the future. Who knows? We need people like him to be sticking up for small clubs, not just Exeter City, but all small clubs with academies.
Indeed. But it's because that's always relies upon finding the kid.
Yeah.
And then he's basically saying that's not a reliable source of income.
Well, that's how our club's surviving entirely. When it's kind of that, isn't it? It's that plus
the odd cup runs
and stuff, and whatever else. But that's a big part of it, isn't it? And I get why that's a kind of slightly worrying place to be in.
Of course. I mean, I'd explore, and, this is all my fault, but I started being in conversation with the Trust. I got, experience at, bringing more membership on board for various charities. And the conversations kind of fell away, which is on me, really. But at the moment, we've got 3,100, 3,200 trust members.
Yeah, we talked about this before. It's so low, isn't it?
It's so low. And as far as I'd be interested to know what the actual income from that is. Because if that's 3,200 times 2, that's not very much. You could increase that significantly, obviously, by it being times 3, times 4, times 5, whatever, or asking people to pay what they can afford.
Yeah, or trying to get more members as well.
Or trying to get more members, and
or
then
both. I mean, we've got a, like we talked about with the trust elections last week. There's lots of people there, and then a lot of the manifestos are all talked about. Pretty much all of them talked about how to generate more and increase recruitment and stuff like that. And so hopefully there's some people in there. There's some new people there. Maybe they've got some new ideas. Maybe we can start seeing those numbers move upwards. I mean, you'd hope so, but like again, I know that's one way, isn't it? So what a bit about moving house?
Yeah, I mean,
so that obviously means moving out of St James Park and moving to either building a ground, which I mean, is that likely? I wouldn't have thought it's likely, definitely while we're in League Two. I don't know, or sharing before with
sharing with the rugby,
sharing the Chiefs or something. I mean,
the problem with that is
loads of everything.
Everything's
the problem with that.
Everything's the problem with that. And like, while I can see that would solve some problems, I could also see it creating loads of problems. So Darlington, for example, built a massive stadium, and no one went. And they overbuilt, it's true.
Yeah. But
if he's talking about 450,000 catchment area, he's obviously got in his mind, we need to be hitting 15,000 people. Actually, Devon just isn't that very densely, it's not very densely populated. There just aren't that many people here. And then loads of them look west to Argyle. And then loads of them look east to Bristol. And then loads more just like rugby. And then the draw of the Premier League. It's not like Bournemouth. That makes sense. They're an established Premier League team. Their stadium's currently not much bigger than ours. That makes sense. And also they're in the South Coast corridor where a lot of people live. I just think that's a massive risk.
Yeah.
And all this stuff like concerts, everyone's always talking about concerts and theatres. Well, yeah, all right, well, you're going to get Oasis to play. Oh, dear Oasis, will you come? Because we built this new stadium for you. I realise my cultural reference is a long way out of date. But whoever you get, and then you're like... Yeah, but then no, we won't. We're playing Glastonbury. There's all those kinds of problems.
I really hate the idea of going maybe it could be just more than a football club. Yeah. Maybe it could be, we're going to have a swimming pool there for kids and a go-kart track.
Yeah.
And
by the way, the only place you could put this is by the motorway. And very close to the motorway is the Chiefs, already an established conference centre and sports pitch. West Point, already a massive concert venue. Creeley and the go-kart place. And, David Lloyd, it's all there already. I just think that would be such a bad idea. The massive thing we've got going for us is we're a community club, and he alludes to all that stuff in his report, and by our very essence are in the community. There's no community out there.
Yeah. The other thing is this obsession with there being a goal of being Manchester City. It's not a race to the top. It's not... No. All of English football isn't a kind of competition to all get to the same level of financial kind of wealth and of huge cultural significance and a global brand, all this stuff. That isn't the point. And no matter how much people who invest in these sort of things and football clubs might want to tell you it isn't about that. No. It's just about people who like football. And like I said before on this, I don't even want Exeter City to be... I'd hate to be in the Premier League. All the stuff that comes with it, I would absolutely hate it. My dream scenario is we get into League One, then have a brilliant time. This is, like I said, this is fantasy stuff. One season in the Championship, just to experience it, relegated straight back down. Honestly, that's what I want. And I don't think I'm alone in that. And I think even the people that think they want it, when it actually, if it ever came true, they'd hate it. Mm. And I think people would agree who support teams that these sort of things have happened to. Ricky Hatton, he hates Man City now, doesn't he?
Is that right?
No, he doesn't hate Man City. He just preferred it before.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Chiefs is a real example to us because they went from nothing to everything.
Yeah.
They're no happier. Like, like it's a different standard.
People
of
have a lovely time out there, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm always seeing it on my social media. I don't want to plug the one we talked about earlier on, but always seeing it, people who I know for a fact have no interest in sport at all, having a lovely day out and taking a selfie
with a racially questionable
hat on and holding one of those Chiefs pints and and these are people I like and I'm slagging them off, but that's not what football's about.
No, it isn't. It isn't what it's about at all.
Rugby can be like that because it's crap and no one cares. But
agreed. I think what I would like to see, because obviously I don't want the club to struggle, I don't want the people that run the club to be constantly worried. I think there's loads of scope for individual community-based investment. Like, ask us, genuinely ask us, write to all trust members and say, what would you be willing to give? Like, what are the pledges? What can we look at here and what would you want in return? And look at kind of genuine investment models where there's nothing back needed. So you look at Everton, right? Some geezer's invested £1 billion in them. Well, he constantly wants stuff back, right?
Yeah.
We don't want stuff back. I've already got what I want from Exeter City.
Yeah, totally.
I have a nice time.
Yeah.
And, occasionally I want a pasty.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And I've got what I want and I don't want it to change.
No. And it would, so I think he's right on his second option. Look at some investment model, but I would really, really, really push the idea that we're the people that want to be investing because we're the ones that are already invested.
Yeah.
But what's money to me? What I care about is what I do with my time. That's the real valuable thing. Do you know what I mean? And what I want to do with my time is support Exeter City.
I'm not saying I want it. I don't want any change.
No.
I do want us to go forward and while I was, genuinely sad to see the old grandstand torn down, it looks great, the new one, and I'm all for it. And that was a good decision, and that's why it's a good thing that I'm not in charge of any of this stuff. But I can easily be won over by making these right decisions, and it's like a really nice ground we got there now.
Yeah, it is.
And maybe the next thing we do is. I don't know what even needs. I don't know.
Well, I suppose
that now people will be saying, "Oh, there's no parking." Or park at a park and ride and get on a bus then, or get a train in.
Cycle.
There's a train station right outside.
We've got our own train station, unlike most football grounds. That's right. And as we approach an era where people will just one day, everyone in Exeter will be in their car at the same time. And will realise all they can do is get out of their car and leave it there forever because they've finally got more cars than they have road. That's what's going to happen fairly soon.
Yeah. Well, it'll start at X Bridges and just
it will exactly
fan out from there.
It will. And you think, that was good while it lasted. So we've got to be all about walking and cycling and catching the bus anyway.
That's why it's another reason why it's exactly a positive thing about having a ground there.
I'd rather see Cranbrook, which is going to be bigger than Tiverton soon. I'd rather see them have their own football club that grew into a non-league club, and we have an interesting rivalry with them. That would be a better outcome.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taggy, fair play. He puts in a hell of a lot of work. I really don't want to speak. It's obviously really, really difficult. You're worrying about money all the time in a community investment club where you're all trustee and it's all on you. But it's only worth preserving if we can preserve what we've got. Yeah.
And I think you're right. We just need to look to ourselves for the answers here, Look at all the people that do love it and that are invested in it.
And it's growing all the time.
Yeah, and of course. And we are naturally growing. You can see that by the attendance. Stuff like having the new stand definitely helps, stuff like that. I know at least 4 people who only come to City just to look at that electronic advertising board that you put there.
Taggy and his
They don't
children.
even watch the game. They just sit there looking at that.
What wasn't published on the website is Taggy's ode to the electronic advertising board.
The electric bill's gone through the roof.
That's why he needs more money. He's having an extension lead in off the Duke of York, so keep it going. Anyway, I think fair play to him for trying to push us on this stuff and ask the important questions. But I'd love to see that alternative conversation happening around. And he is suggesting this stuff. But I'd like to see that alternative conversation.
Yeah.
What can we do to help? Well, Dan, we've got very cross about being in an out-of-town stadium. So maybe that's enough for today.
I mean, we're doing an Exeter City podcast, and it's more that whole thing. The ground and that is to me is more important than winning.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Well, players come and go, managers come and go.
So, yeah, I've got more, I wouldn't say passionately riled about the possibility of that happening than any other game we've talked about.
Absolutely.
But that's because that's what it's all about as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Hey, we'd like to hear what you think. You can get in touch with us in all the normal places. Twitter at Big Bank Pod. On email, bigbankpod@gmail.com, and on Facebook as well with the Big Bang Theory podcast. It's been good to talk to you.
Yep.
My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.